What's up, Dana? How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Can you help us just further understand after Canelo and Chavez where it's like, oh, hey, they took the date. What does that really mean by them landing on the date that maybe you guys had hoped would be McGregor-Mayweather?
Yeah, September was the date that we wanted, and we dragged our feet. We've taken too long, and a great fight slid into that spot. Life moves on, man. Nobody waits. Nobody waits for anything. Things pop up. You didn't see a big fight coming, but these guys made a big fight with, Triple G and Canelo, and good for them.
Okay, what do you mean by dragging your feet? Whose fault is that?
Well, it's everybody's fault. It's all of our fault. We on our side. Actually, it's not Mayweather's fault. It's actually our fault on our side. We haven't got our stuff together. Meaning me and Connor haven't got our stuff together, and we blew the date. So what are you going to do?
Now, I think strategically, like, this is a different thing that we've heard in combat sports, where the side is taking blame and not blame. Like, normally it would be the other way around. Like, even if you were wrong, Dana, one group would just blame the other group. So what is it?
Yeah, it's us. It's us, not them.
It sounds like you kind of hate doing this, trying to organize this fight. Is that fair?
It's not that I hate it. It's just not what I do. To even entertain this fight, I'm entertaining it for Connor. I've said many times, Connor has done a lot for the sport and for us. He stepped up on short notice in big fights in times that were critical for us, and he's done a lot of good things in the last couple of years. So he wants this, and we're trying to get it figured out. So.
Is there any way you can be less vague on what it is on your side of it and Connor's side of it that still has you guys in this position?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing is that Connor was having his baby. Connor was home. He was having his baby. He's focused on that with his girl and his family. And, now he's had the baby, and we should have something together here in the next by this weekend, and then I can start negotiating with Mayweather. Okay,
now, one other thing that I was wondering, and I thought it was great that you said it, is that this isn't really even that great for the UFC. Look, you have a boxing background. I think I kind of have an idea how the fight would go and how much of a challenge this is for somebody like Conor at the disadvantage with these rules, but what would a McGregor loss mean for your brand?
I don't know. I mean, they're two totally different sports. Listen, if Floyd came into the UFC, the fight with Conor and Floyd would last 10 seconds. The fight would be over in 10 seconds. Connor's going to go in and box, and the thing will probably go the distance, or I don't know. I mean, I don't see Floyd Mayweather knocking him out. Floyd Mayweather doesn't knock anybody out.
Dana, when you said earlier, I'm sorry to follow up on a question that was just two ago from Ryan, but when you said we on our side don't have our stuff together, it's our fault this fight hasn't happened, I can't believe that you were actually talking about Conor having a baby. So when you say we don't have our stuff together, that's you and him. So what's missing?
Oh, that's it. What's missing is he's in Ireland. I'm in Las Vegas. He's having a baby. He wasn't going to chance. First of all, his baby was late. They were. I'm pretty sure they were going to induce her. So he was dealing with all that stuff. When you're dealing with that, you're not focused on getting the deal done. Now he's had his baby, and takes a few days to recover from that. And I hope to have this thing done this weekend.
If this were up to you, just you weren't doing a favor for Conor, would you put this fight on? Would you do this fight?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
It's not what I do.
Are you worried? Because I know I've already asked this question here a little bit, but look, Floyd's one of the toughest fighters that I've ever seen as far as actually trying to have to hit him. And Conor, I think you kind of understand from a boxing standpoint, like, what he would try to do. But if he loses, I'd go, well, he was kind of supposed to lose. So even though we were talking about the brand here a little bit, like, will you just want to lose it when you hear somebody like me that maybe doesn't understand the difference in styles say this proves that the UFC just isn't what people think it is?
Well, people, uneducated people would say that. And, I mean, a guy losing a fight, it's like, oh, he lost to Floyd, and, Floyd's one of the greatest of all time and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, listen, Conor is going to step into the boxing ring if we get this thing done, and box Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather would never, ever come to the UFC and try to fight Conor McGregor.
Have you asked
would
him
never
to?
happen.
Have you asked him to, Dan?
Come on. You're that guy. You're that guy, huh?
Which guy? Which guy?
Yeah, that guy.
No,
You're
which
that guy?
Which
that guy? You like to ask those crazy questions. You're that guy.
I don't know what's crazy
guy.
about. I don't know what's crazy about asking if you asked Floyd Mayweather.
Have you asked him?
You had a conclusion. You had a conclusion where you said he would never. I wonder if you asked.
Is going to come fight in the UFC?
That's not the question. I think he would.
Yeah.
The question isn't whether I think he would. You had a conclusion. I wonder if you asked. I'm sure you're right.
Sure, I did. You did. Sure, I did.
There we go.
Do you think that Floyd Mayweather would come into the UFC? No. Conor McGregor is going to step into boxing under their rules, and he is going to compete against Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather would never in a million years step into the UFC, ever.
I'm sure that's true.
Hey, before we let you go, Dana White here with us to promote this Saturday's UFC 211 in Dallas. The main event going to feature Stipe Miocic, who was here with us a little bit earlier, and he's going up against Dos Santos. So this event coming up here, Stipe at this point, when you look at Miocic, what kind of run do you think he can have, which is so impossible to keep it going at that size?
Yeah, no, it's hard. And this is, the first fight with these two was an absolute war. 5 rounds, war. Junior Dos Santos pulls out a decision. And since then, Stipe Miocic has knocked everybody out, including Verdum, who was the heavyweight champion, to win the title, and then knocked out Alistair Overeem in his first defense. He's not the same fighter that faced Junior Dos Santos the first time. And Junior Dos Santos, his entire career, is a big, strong, rock-chinned, heavy-handed guy. I don't see this fight going 5 rounds.
Before we leave here, Dana, can you just give us like a confidence level now? McGregor, Mayweather, updated today, scale of 1 to 100.
Yeah, UFC 211 this weekend on pay-per-view.
Hey, thanks a lot, Dana. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right.